best of both worlds, Michael Chernyak.
In this world, there are those who are spontaneous and those who are not. I would put myself squarely in the latter category. In fact, anyone who knows me well, if asked, would unequivocally state that, generally speaking, Michael Chernyak, not a spontaneous individual. From an early age, I was always focused on the risk that was inherent in any situation. I had friends who only saw the reward, they only saw the upside. I, on the other hand, was the polar opposite. I was obsessed with what could go wrong in any given scenario, with how bad any situation could play out. This carried on through my teenage years and my young adulthood. I would look at other people, I would observe them with admiration, spontaneous beings who understood that life was fraught with risk, but a life devoid of spontaneity was not truly a fulfilling way to live. I recall a time in university. I was sitting with 4 of my friends, and we were experiencing momentary winter boredom. Someone suggested that we drive to Florida the next morning, get in a car, drive to Florida, spend a day on the beach, and then come back. Can you believe that? Somebody said, get in a car, drive 25 hours to spend a single day in the sun, and then repeat the process the other way. I was offered a seat on that drive, but I immediately declined. Why would I want to do that? Well, the trip ended up happening without me, of course. And to this very day, those 4 friends of mine still reminisce about that wonderful time in Florida, that spontaneous event that formed a lifelong memory. And so it was. I went through my youth watching others living out loud, watching others make the most of their youth, while I played it safe, while I took the conservative path. In early 2006, I was going through a lot of personal turmoil. My life flipped upside down. I was just not myself. In July of that year, I received an email. I was part of a group, about 20 people, university friends for the most part, an email from a friend named Bob. And Bob suggested that we all go skydiving the next day. Can you believe that? Bob had the audacity to suggest that we all jump out of a perfectly good plane at 12,500 feet. That's 3 kilometers for those of you who are wondering. I immediately thought, no way, no chance, not this guy. I don't have a death wish. But then something happened. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the headspace that I was in. Maybe it was a temporary out-of-body experience. It doesn't matter. My mind was made up. I was going on that excursion. I was doing it. I still remember today driving into the parking lot of Skydive Toronto in Cookstown, just south of Barrie. It was a sunny Sunday morning in August of 2006. I had been by there many times on Highway 400, but I never gave it a second look, never gave it a second thought. But that day, I was there. And with me were 2 other people from that list of 20 or so. 2 others who were up for the task. 2 others who were as out of their mind as I was. After signing what felt like an endless supply of legal documents, and by the way, that should have been a sign to get the heck out of there, it was time. It was time to go. I was introduced to an older Ukrainian gentleman, very nice man, who had many jumps under his belt. He was to be my instructor and my tandem jump companion for the morning. After a short training session and a little wardrobe change, we boarded a small Cessna 182 that ascended to 12,500 feet. I remember a lot of joking, a lot of laughter as we were on our way up. It was eerily calm. Well, I can tell you this, that was the calm before the storm, because when that door to the plane opened and I glimpsed into the abyss, I was ready to bail. What the heck was I thinking? But it turns out it was too late to change my mind. There was that small matter of a Ukrainian man who was glued to my back and whose knee was not so gently nudging me towards the open door of the plane. The jump happened. I still remember the free fall, 45 seconds of pure exhilaration. At some point during the free fall, I decoupled from my tandem buddy. I was all by myself. It was just me. The fear was gone. It was just pure joy and excitement. The feeling was unbelievable. That was followed by a leisurely 5-minute little float down to the ground, which I promptly ended up kissing with my lips as I made contact with the earth once again. What a day it was. What a week it was. I had a smile I literally could not wipe off my face for an entire week. The post-jump high just wouldn't subside. And you know what? If I didn't get it on camera, I might wonder today if it even happened. Maybe the whole thing was just a figment of my imagination, but it happened and I have the proof. Nowadays, I've reverted back, for the most part, to my non-spontaneous ways. I have my routine. I take the path more frequently traveled. However, I try to sprinkle in a little bit of spontaneity here and there, just to spice life up a little bit. I find that really works for me. That little balance between the two is, for me, the best of both worlds. Thank you.